Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another art discussion. I really enjoy doing these because if I don't have enough time, even to the point where I can't even do any artwork because either my desk's a mess or I'm waiting for something to dry and I just can't do anything else, this is my way of being able to channel myself into the art world without actually doing something practical. And honestly, theory-wise, I'm not great. I feel like I do need to brush up on it, but again, it's the whole needing time. But there's something that I get to update you very, very soon about the whole time management, which I think will be in one of my Christmas videos because some exciting news. But anyway, we're here to talk about a painting that I actually have just completed today. So today's date is actually the 19th of November because I don't know what day it is. I clearly have to look at my laptop to be able to remind myself what day it is. And it is an oil painting from a photograph that I took when I was in the Lake District, and we went good 4 or 5 years ago now, and I remember taking these wonderful photographs and being like, I need to create something with this. Obviously years went by and I was like, I rediscovered it. I went, why have I not recreated this in some sort of material or drawing or anything in those sorts? Very unusually, I tend to know which material I want to draw or to create a piece, because sometimes I just want to paint a landscape and to not go any further, just to be what it is, because sometimes it's just to be able to paint and draw simply something like what it is because the composition's good enough to warrant, whereas some of them kind of branch out into projects where these are kind of like this is this and this is this, and that's the end of it. Not to say they're not as interesting to do, because it's nice sometimes to be able to do one step into an artwork, whereas sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, I need to do this, and then you carry on into the world of art and you get carried away into a project, and what you start out with at the very beginning is completely different to what you have at the very end. Anyway, I'm going to show you it. Now, it is a bit of a weird one because it is mixed media, but I'll just show you and then I'll explain everything. I have a really squeaky floor, I'm sorry. Okay, so like I said, it almost dropped it. This is from the Lake District of a photograph, and underneath there is these beautiful stalactites and stalagmites that you come across throughout walking through the tunnels. It is something that you have to pay to get into, but what it was worth, I think it was about £12 each back then. It is worth it so much more now today. The material is oil paint, but the background that I've painted on top of is the mixed media collages that I did on my channel for a good 3 or 4 years, where I just did compositions, and then I struggled to find a way for me to turn them into something useful, not just as mixed media pieces. If they couldn't stand by themselves, I was like, oh, maybe I'll turn them into prints. And then I realised, why not just use them as backgrounds, because you can actually see all the little bits of acrylic, and it's very versatile and hard to work with, but something that I find very hard to do in painting, and that is the sense of depth and creating this textured, weird, alluring feeling of what a painting should have. And because part of that control had been taken away, you constantly have to fight with the colours to be able to produce the artwork. So despite actually only spending about 2 hours painting this, the background of making all the little bits and pieces took a lot longer. So I'd say about 4 hours at most in creating this piece. For anyone who wants to know, I am selling this on my account. It went live today on the 19th of November, and I'm selling this for £30 plus £6 post and packaging. That is within the UK, but if you are abroad, I am signed up to the global programme where you just have to pay eBay the difference in getting the artwork from the UK to wherever you live within the world. Funnily enough, this frame actually had a piece of glass in it and I broke it. No one got hurt, luckily, but I decided to chuck it away, and then I realised, oh, I've got a frame with no glass but a backboard, which hasn't really been done. So that's kind of how it started, and with the whole premise of all my mixed media pieces, I was like, how am I meant to get rid of them? you know, I've got thousands of them, and that's not exaggeration. I've got like 3 whole drawers of them. They're very, very useful to do when you haven't got much time and you've got the materials and resources coming out your ears and eyes and nose everywhere. And so this is how I came about it. Originally I did a print version to correspond to Crosby Beach. Is it Crosby Beach? No, Walsey. I did a painting on top of these, which turned into a print because I had all the marks of it. I just chopped it up and changed it. And then I decided to just paint on top of it, and this is how far we've got. Love the fact this is framed. I always like the idea of having a painting framed because you've got that border and it sometimes works. It becomes very organic and the form of it just works to make the composition and it just drags you in, but sometimes it can look really smart and then become more like a commercial piece of artwork rather than an artwork, whereas this one's an artwork because it's not commercialised. It's one of a kind. You can't replicate this because of the mixed media pieces are all individual. However, everything else, you can replicate a painting, if that makes any sense at all. Like I said, I am selling this for £30 and that is actually cost price because, like I said, I spent about 4 hours on this and I want to give myself a decent wage, but also I need to kind of move my artwork out of my studio because I have way too much at the moment and I am in the process of moving, so I would like this to go to a lovely home if and when someone decides to buy it. I will be taking it with me obviously, but I can only do the deal whilst in the process of moving a house. When I move house, it will go up to the retail price for me and that'll be around about, I think it's about £52 plus the post and packaging. Post and packaging will get a bit more expensive because of how much more I have to charge for this. But yeah, if anyone wants it, I'll leave a link in the description for you to find it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my very best to answer them. In my description box, you'll find the links to where I am selling this in my eBay selling account. There's also my social medias if you'd like to make a donation as well. There's also my PayPal's donation page in there as well. This one I actually didn't video, so I don't have any videos of me curating it, unfortunately, but sometimes it's just nice to have something I'm like, bam, this is what I've done, rather than a video all of the processes, because it actually takes a lot more longer and there's a lot more pressure for me to be able to do it on camera. However, that doesn't mean I won't not record my next one. But yeah, thank you guys again, and I'll bring you up for the close-up, but if I don't see you afterwards, I'll just see you guys later.